Hello everyone, it's Hembar2699 coming at you. Not live actually, but it is through the power of the internet. Though I don't have my Ethernet cable plugged in, so hopefully this, since technically what I use to record uses internet, hopefully it doesn't lag at all. But I wanted to talk a little bit about two things really: Veterans Day, or Armistice Day, Remembrance Day, whatever you want to call it. And midnight releases. Specifically, this has to do with a midnight release that occurred about 12 years ago tonight, and that is for Skyrim on November 11th, 2011. So 11/11/11, as far as we write dates how it goes. Was the release of Skyrim. It was funny, so I did not go to the midnight release. My little brother did. Maybe one of my other brothers did as well, and I can't remember. But I know my little brother went with my mom. And I think that was the first time we'd ever been allowed to go to a midnight release. So it was kind of special for that. And it's funny because I only probably ever played like an hour of Oblivion. And it's the same with Skyrim. I've only ever played like an hour of Skyrim. But I've enjoyed the games anyways. I like watching people play the games. And that's actually the case with a lot of RPGs with me. I have a hard time playing RPGs by myself. And a lot of RPGs are single player. You can't play them but by yourself. So, yeah. So Skyrim came out. But I did go to two midnight releases. And one of these is kind of portrays the death of midnight releases, I'd say. But the first one does not. So about a year later, so from November 2011, so November 2012, on the 5th, this game came out on the 6th at midnight. I was at a GameStop near my house in Texas, and I went to the midnight release again with my mom for the release of Halo 4. My mom didn't go inside at all. She just sat in the car and waited for me. I was 2012. Let's see. I would have been 15, so I couldn't drive myself at the time. So she was nice enough to come along with me. And I went to this midnight release. There was a tournament for Halo 4, which, looking back on it, I probably could have done really well in the tournament because a lot of the players there I don't remember being very good. I was pretty good at Halo at the time. I'm pretty sucky now. To be completely honest, I suck now, but I was pretty good at the time. I remember I went home in my first match. I got like 36 kills or something like that. But anyways, that's kind of redundant. It doesn't really matter. But I went to this midnight release and it was fun. Having to wait outside at times, getting the special edition. I got the metal case version that cost about $100 rather than 60. And that was fun. The anniversary of that was early this week. Something like that. It was like Sunday maybe. But yeah, that was my first midnight release, Halo 4, which is an okay game. Not like a great game, but I'm a big fan of Halo. And then the second one was another Halo game. It's the Master Chief Collection. Around the same time, but in 2014. I can actually look up when exactly that came out. It would have been November, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know the date. That also came out on the 11th, so it is the anniversary of that, the night I went there. That was only 9 years ago, though. So very, very fitting. It sounded like I thought it came out on the 11th. I subconsciously remembered that, I guess. And that was not a true midnight release, though. It was kind of a convenient release. How I say this is that if you are aware of video games, generally they come out on midnight, but that means midnight where you are. So your friends in Europe or in Asia are going to get them before you in the United States or Canada or Mexico or whatever. And that's not fun for some video games, right? I mean, normally it's like, who cares, that you're probably not available to play anyways at the time, right? You might not be able to play when it comes out for you anyways. But I remember going to the midnight release for Master Chief Collection, and it wasn't at midnight. It was at 10, I believe. This was 2014. Yeah, I was in Arizona at the time, so it was at 10 o'clock for me. Because midnight on the East Coast was 10 o'clock in Arizona. And so it came out the same time in the United States, which is kind of fair. I guess it's fair, right? But the experience is a little different because 10 o'clock is not midnight. And Master Chief Collection was very hard to play that first night as well with the servers. Not impossible, but very hard. And it was just an interesting experience. So going at 10, again, like I said, I lived further away from home in that case too, so I'd drive further. The case of Halo 4 was really nice for me. My mom also let me skip school the next day. Because my friends, everyone I played with, I was in a clan for Halo, right? Which had been Call of Duty clan. That was like the last Call of Duty I played though was Modern Warfare 3, and I haven't really played since. But I was very young at the time, if you remember, and they had a teacher like conference day, so the teachers had work, but the students didn't have to come to school that day, the 6th, right? So I was like, what? That's unfair. Like you guys are going to be playing all day and I'm going to be left out. What happened is I ended up getting home at midnight and I played until about 3 in the morning. It's only for about 3 hours, pretty tired. And then I went to sleep for a couple hours, woke up at 5 for school things, but I didn't actually end up going to school, which was awesome. I got to come home and play more with my friends and my cousin included, my cousin Riley. So that was cool. The thing that I guess I'm just reminiscing here about the 11th of November, that, I mean, you have, so Veterans Day, which you can call Armistice Day. It coincides with the anniversary of the end of World War One, which, let's see, this says major hostilities of World War I were formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, when the armistice with Germany went into effect. It was renamed Veterans Day in the United States in 1954 to honor all veterans and not just those who had served in the First World War. And, I wish I had more to say about veterans. I can say thanks. The veterans, those are discharged honorably and served. War is such a messy thing, right? And it's a sucky thing you don't want to have to do. I'd much rather play Halo than have to go to war. And I know that sounds lame, right? Much rather play Skyrim. And I don't really enjoy the game that much. But now I can appreciate that where war has gotten me to a degree. I just wish there'd be no more of it. The world has enough of it, and it's pretty much all for petty reasons, and people not getting along for whatever reason. But I did want to say also that I don't have the money this year to even try, sadly. But last year I remember going to my florist and asking if they had poppies for Armistice Day, for Veterans Day. They didn't. They don't carry them here in the United States, which is a little disappointing. I wish I could have a poppy. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of think back on days I can remember, midnight releases, in particular, things like Skyrim and Halo Master Chief Collection, as well as Veterans Day, and just see kind of what I remember of that. So I don't have any plans for tonight and tomorrow. I'll be working all day in a place I don't want to work, but a place that I guess I should be grateful I have a job for. So that is something. Anyways, maybe a different topic, but I hope someone got something out of this. And that is one thing I should be grateful for the job I have. I'm grateful for those midnight releases I was able to go to. Video games are not cheap. I'm grateful I'm able to play as much, or had been able to play as much as I was able to. Have the funds for that, because in reality, if you can play video games, there's a good chance you have some money, right? They're not cheap. And so I am grateful for that. So let's be grateful, especially as video game players, which I'll have to talk about another time, how much video games is in conflict with another one of my hobbies, but I still enjoy. So anyways, Hembar 2699 again. I'll catch you whenever I feel like making another one of these.